Hi, you are watching Economic Stability Forum channel, and today our lecture is on microeconomics. So today we are now learning about microeconomics. What is microeconomics? Actually, what is the concept of microeconomics and why we study microeconomics? So let's start. In economics, there are two main branches of economics on analytical basis. Economics. One branch is microeconomics and the second branch is macroeconomics. So these two are basic. These basic branches of economics, micro and the macroeconomics and micro, and that's we are actually studying here. Micro means small. Just like in physics, we say that microscope, and we call a micro just like a micro body, like millionth part of somebody, the tiny element of any body. That is what micro. In economics, we say that microeconomics is that branch of economics in which we study at small level. So now let's go to this definition. Microeconomics deals with the choices. So microeconomics actually deals with choices. The choices of what? Of individuals. Whose are individuals? These individuals are individual households and individual firms. So these are basics individuals, and we study the choices of these individual households and firms. So these are basically two agents of an economy. So there are actually basically three agents of an economy we are discussed in economics. Agents of economy. We can learn it from economics textbook. There are many textbooks that uses these agents of economy. That what? Consumers, producers, and government. These basically these are three basic agents of economy. And households. Households are those persons that demand some things or goods or services. So in economy there may be some goods. So there are two types of things. There are some of goods and some of services. So households go to the market and purchases or buy some goods or services from the market. And individual firms are those individuals, are those persons, are those organizations, group of peoples or company. Firms, those who supply the goods or services in the market. Okay, so both are important. In market, we know that in a market there are two forces are working. One is buyer, who buy from the market, and the one other is seller. So households are actually buyers in the market, and firms are actually seller in the market. So households demand the goods or services, and firms supply the goods or services. So the individual firms and we actually see that in microeconomics that how these individuals behave, how when prices move upward or when prices move downward, how these individuals behave and how they make choices about their resources. For example, one individual has a money of $30. So how an individual choose to buy which types of goods he want to buy? So he has to choose from the goods in the market that are available. So there are a number of choices for the individual household and also for the individual firms. And firm can have capability to produce some like chips or some types of cold drinks or some type of and juices, or there are many other things that can produce. So sellers has also an different choices, and they are also can change the prices. So in the market there are always you have different choices. So these we study in economic microeconomics, especially in the behaviors of these individuals. So these individuals like consumers, producers. Consumers, that's households are actually consumers, and producers, firms are actually producers. So but the third is agent is government. Government is so government facilitate both agents, consumers and producers. By applying the taxes on consumers and producers, government actually facilitates both consumers and producers. So government role is also important. So now in microeconomics we study the response of consumers and producers, which are consumers are actually buyers, and producers are what actually sellers are firms. Okay, consumers are also households, and producers are also we call them firms. Okay, so these are some individuals that can respond to change in the relative prices of domestic or foreign goods. So here the actually term relative prices. We also see the relative prices concept in microeconomics. And this is also an important concept. That is what relative prices. For example, in UK, there might be juices are much expensive than US. So in UK, juices are more expensive, and it might be possible that some type of cold drink is much expensive in US and less expensive in UK. So this is the possibility that the change in prices in the different countries, and when we compare and when we check that we examine that relative prices, so we see that the same type of goods, just like an example, apple or oranges, these are two different types of fruit, but both are fruits. When we check the relative prices, we see that the goods are our homogeneous goods. Homogeneous means the same types of goods. Beef or versus chicken, or for example US cores versus UK cores. So when we compare the relative prices of two goods, then we say that our goods must be homogeneous, the same type of goods. So we can then compare them easily, the relative prices. So these are basic concepts, and there are many other theories there are other many theories like factor pricing, and market structure, and demand and supply. So these theories are also studied in microeconomics, and we study these theories in detail in microeconomics. So thank you very much. I hope you all understand about what is microeconomics, and we see these lectures in the next video about the next topic in microeconomics. Keep watching Economic Stability Forum.